Today on CarTraction, I've bought another vintage bicycle. The addiction started with my 1952 CWS, then it progressed onto my 1927 CWS, and now it's progressed onto this, the mystery bicycle. I bought this at time of recording yesterday, so real quick turnaround. Don't know what it is, don't know how old it is. So in today's video I'm going to be trying to investigate, and hopefully maybe some of you guys will know what this is. There's nothing obvious like frame numbers or head badges, unfortunately. So I don't know what it is, and also this is in as found condition. It needs a little bit of tinkering and fettling to get to riding condition, as this will be probably my most used bicycle out of all my vintage bicycles here. So yeah, let's see if in today's video I'll be able to figure out what this thing actually is and get it roadworthy. So why did I buy this wonderful vintage lightweight bicycle, apart from the fact that it looks absolutely fantastic? Well, to be honest, my justification for this is it kind of fills a gap in my collection. I've got the two older bikes, and those are both steel frame. I don't really want to take them out in the salt. The 1927 one is a proper racer, no mudguards, so you're going to get salt all over the really old frame. You don't want to do that, or in wet weather. The 52 has mudguards, but they're metal mudguards, steel, and I don't want a build-up of mud underneath there. So I want something that I can use, and this has plastic mudguards, being a lightweight, which means they're not going to rust. Plastic doesn't rust, and it goes all the way around the wheels on these really nice original Blue Mel's mudguards. So this can be used in all weathers. I'll obviously still take it out in nice weather, but there's just going to be absolutely no mud flicking up from there, and it's just going to be a really, really usable thing. It's a single speed fixed bicycle, this one, so not the best for hills, but I've rode it back from a friend of ours, the friend who I was helping out at the stall where the the Bike Jumble was, where I bought this, and I rode it back from there. It seems to run quite nicely. Now, we still don't know what it is really. It's got some quite unique sort of frame lug work. Hopefully Dad can show you on camera duties, yeah. It's got some someone said it might be a Freddy Grubb when I was buying it. There's no frame numbers or anything, so if anyone recognises these quite sort of lavish lug work, and also this little sort of crease there on the forks, that's probably the thing that's going to identify this bicycle. So if you do know, do let me know in the comments below, because it really is a mystery. So I paid £70 for this bicycle. It was at the Bike Creche Cycle Jumble, and the general consensus was that it was a pretty good buy. The brakes on it are GB Coureur brakes. There's some really beautiful things, these. They have a little quick release mechanism there. That's closed up now, so pretend I just put the wheel back on. And apparently someone said these brakes are probably worth about what I paid for the bicycle on their own. Beautiful handlebars. Your hands do get a little bit cold on those, so probably have them there. Apparently these hubs are quite rare, to have these sort of 4-hole hubs. Apparently that sort of is a sort of 1930s, 1940s era feature, so that might help to date this particular bicycle to the 1930s or 40s.
This is
it's a long reach.
It's quite similar to that, isn't it?
Yes, it is actually. I've been told this is sort of quite a long reach. It's sort of a very long wheelbase bicycle, this one. You really have to lean forwards a lot when riding it. So yeah, a couple of the parts I had loads of bike experts around me at the Bike Jumble, and even they didn't know what it was, but they seem to reckon that some of the parts, such as these beautiful adjustable brakes and sort of like the lug work and the hubs, which are meant to be quite nice, sort of date it to the 1930s and 40s, but to be honest, it's still a mystery. I'll have to post it on a couple of Facebook groups, maybe some close-up photos of this quite unique lug work. I don't really know, but if you do recognise them, please let me know in the comments, because I'd love to know what you think of it, of course, and also what you think it may be. But yeah, so that's a little introduction to this bicycle, and now I think for the next part of the video, let's clean it up a little bit, accessorise it a bit, and get it roadworthy to a condition where I'll be able to hop on it whatever the weather and just use it, because that's what this one's for. So the first thing I'm going to do to bring this into roadworthy condition is pretty simple, and this is the only tool I'm using. Now, the previous owner of this bicycle just had it as an ornament. I was talking to him just before I bought it off him, and it sounds like he didn't really ride it. He just had it hanging up on his garage wall, I think he said. So this hasn't done many mileage, and it is pretty dusty. So the first thing I'm going to do, really basic, is just dust the thing. Now usually when it comes to sort of vintage bicycles, I'm into the sort of slightly older roadster type bicycle with the sort of really original paint, really scratchy, a little bit rusty. That's what my other two are like, really. And for that you spray a load of penetrating oil and wipe it on. But for this has been repainted at some point in its life, and the paint's quite shiny and there's no rust, so it doesn't warrant sort of spraying over with oil. I mean, this rag's already got some oil on it anyway, so that's more than enough, but it literally just needs a little dusting around before I start to do anything else. The mud guards need a good rub down as well to bring out their colour. Yeah, just go over all of it, really. There's actually some very, very nice lug work around here as well. It's really beautifully made, this frame. Wonder if that's recognisable for anyone. Very lightweight frame, thin tubing. But it is an old bike, this. It's sort of 30s, 40s, but it doesn't look that different to the sort of 1960s, 70s thing, so it's probably quite advanced. Yeah, I think for once we might refrain from the oily rag with this one. For once. Which is probably a first on this channel. Right, so I think that's the painstaking restoration process done. I think now it might be time to do some accessorizing. So the bike can go there now, and with a combination of me and Dad's collections, if we come in this shed here, I've got a few period accessories that should jazz that one up a little bit. So this is the 1927 racer. As you can see, no mud guards. You don't really want mud flicking up, even though this thing is doused in oil. It's actually been drilled in the frame, so you really don't want salt or water getting in there, collecting here. So that's why I only really use these in the dry, or at least not in the salt. So what have I got? It's quite busy in here. That's the old air filter off the Fox. A few spanners I really need to clean up in here. That's a saddle for the 1952 CWS I'm going to put on it. These are the old toe clips that I took off the pedals. That was the day I bought it, actually. These came off because to get it back I had to take the pedals off, and also I took these off to ride at home. I also took the lamp bracket off because it was a bit of a tight fit. So what have we got? We've got a little reflector that hopefully will maybe go on the back of the seat or something, because it's a legal requirement, I think, to have a red reflector on the back. So that's a nice old accessory.
Yeah, nice old one. So you put that on the back of your rucksack? Or...
Yeah. So we're going to have to adapt it to go on the bike frame, because that's the only one we have. I'll keep these off because, to be honest, I don't really like pedaling with the toe clips on. I like the idea of being able to get my feet out when I want to. So I'll keep them. But yeah, those will be staying off. There's absolutely just a mess in here. A little lamp here. This is a Rayovac lamp. This one donated by Dad. That'll just slide on the front of the bracket. Unfortunately, does not work.
Long-term blown.
Obviously it doesn't work, but it just fills the gap. So that one will have to get some WD-40 on it and an oily rag, which I'll do in a minute because that will come up really nicely. And there's this pump. I had hoped for a slightly older looking pump, but unfortunately we don't have one in at the moment. Both of my other bikes have fitted pumps here. These are the really nice old style Bluemel's pumps, which are really, really nice. But those fit in with those, they're sort of more that era, as this is the only other spare one I could find. This one here, it's a Holford's pump, and it actually works really well. I've put my own, that's just another little valve, and that actually happens to fit in the frame quite well. So it's not the best looking thing in the world, but it's a user, this bicycle. I need something that works.
Take this off, I bet.
No, I might leave that on. I'll probably take that off. I might leave that on though, because it's original, isn't it? It's probably 60s, 70s this pump, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know, it looks kind of old, but we'll have to see. I mean, I might update this, I might get a proper reflector for it someday. I'll have to see, but I think the first thing I'll do is oil up this little lamp. I mean, this looks absolutely awful. I'm not usually this disorganised, I promise. No, I'm honestly not.
Yeah.
But it's just because I've done the Fox air filter recently, and I've had all my bike spanners out, because I was trying to, there's a little bit of play in the wheel of that one which I'll have to sort out sometime. Rag, See, this will suit a little oily rag treatment to protect it, as it is quite vulnerable where it's mounted to sort of moisture. You don't want it collecting because it'll just rust. Sort of what 1950s era lamp.
Yep.
Lovely thing. I'm almost running out of WD-40, might need to stock up soon. So yeah, this will be able to go on the front of the bike along with the other accessories just to jazz it up a little bit. And now, pretty much, that's looking quite a bit different to how it looked before. We need a little bit on the top there, maybe. So, oh. Yeah, it isn't polished, this YouTube channel, I can't lie. It's the reality of messing around with old bikes and cars, but that should look pretty nice on there. In fact, I'll go and put it on it now. This one on the 27 has a really nice, it sort of screws on and it's actually suspended. It's a lovely thing. It's a Lucas Leader lamp, that is. It doesn't work. It's originally a gas lamp, I think, so it would burn. As this is a battery powered lamp, you can see quite a bit later, but as this is a pre-war bike, it warrants a lamp like that. So that's a really nice little thing. But we're going a little bit more basic with this bicycle here, and that literally just clips on there. There you go. That looks pretty good, doesn't it? About the right angle, just angling very slightly forwards is probably where it wants to be at. But yeah, that certainly suits it, doesn't it? A relatively sort of period correct accessory. Very happy with that. I'll go and get the pump now, in fact. So this does clash a bit with the green and white, I will appreciate. I'll take that sticker off at some point, but just to get an idea, it does fit, and I might as well have something there apart from no pump. And the pump does use, so if I ever need it, hopefully I won't, but if I ever do, then I will be sorted. What was the other thing? It was the reflector. The reflector, I'll probably hang off these seat brackets here with tie wraps. It'll be quite sort of rinky-dink, as Dad might say, because it usually sort of go on here. And
well, somewhere,
reflector. Oh yes,
somewhere
yeah.
I've got some of the old ones that go on there.
Yeah. But the wheel would probably have to come off for that.
We'd have to take the wheel off to get whatever this is off.
The wheel needs to come off at some point because there's a little bit of side to side, but in today's video I'm literally just getting it roadworthy as quick as possible. So yeah, it's only a temporary solution. That will probably will put a reflector on there, but certainly just for today I'll probably hang that little reflector, which is initially designed to go on the back of your jacket or rucksack. It might go off there on the lovely original Brooks saddle, so let's see if we can sort something out with that. So there we go. For now, that will be the look of the mystery bicycle. Some say it is a Freddy grub, but let me know in the comments below. I'll give you guys another look at the interesting lug work just in case that is an identifier. If there are any bicycle experts in the comment section, then that will be very, very handy. Very, very nicely made. I took the sticker off the Halfords pumps and that's there. It's a little bit new for it, to be honest, but it's okay. The Ever-Ready, sorry, not Ever-Ready lamp, is it? It's the Rayovac lamp. Looks quite nice on the front there. Just helps to age the bicycle. Don't know if I showed these, but the nice Bloomel's popular mudguards, original to the bike, are still on there as well. And there is the little reflector tie wrapped, so a little bit sort of makeshift, but I think it looks quite nice under there. Almost looks like it's meant to be there. So that's the finished look of my mystery bicycle, and I've got to say I'm really happy with it. For £70, probably another sort of 15 in the light and 10 in the pump, so let's say 100 in total. I think that's a fantastic looking vintage bicycle. So I think now the time has come to do with it what it was made for. Let's go for a little ride. Just before I actually go out for a ride out and take it on the road, I'll just do a couple of laps around here at a slower speed just to show you what it looks like riding and how far down you have to reach. It's such a long frame, this, and I'm all the way down here. It's fixed so I can't kick back the pedals to start pedaling, so you sort of just have to shuffle and then go. see I'm having to lean really far forwards because of this long tube here. Okay, so now I know that hopefully nothing's going to fall off. I'm going to get changed into my bright clothing and just take it up the road for a little ride and see how it goes with all its new stuff on the road, because that's what it's for. Well, hello everyone, you now join me on my very first ride on the mystery bicycle, a few miles down the road, just a little test ride, and to be honest, first impressions, it rides absolutely beautifully. The single speed gear you'd think would be very low geared, you won't be able to maintain such a high speed, but this thing absolutely flies. It is really lightweight, especially when I'm used to the likes of the 27, which is a racer, but it's built out of a Roadster frame and the Roadster 1952 bicycle. It's so nice. Brakes all working well, everything seems to be running absolutely perfectly. The only slight issues are there's a little bit of side to side in this wheel, so at some point this wheel is going to have to come off, and also might end up taking this little flap off. There's a little bit of water on the lens, it's just started to rain. So yeah, that might end up coming off because it flaps around, makes an annoying noise, but it doesn't matter if it's starting to rain because this is the user bike. The mudguards should keep most of the sort of bits you want to keep dry, and yeah, really happy with how this rides. So I think I'll close this video here, an introduction to my mystery bicycle, potentially a Freddy Grub, I don't know. I'll have to do a bit of research, but if you know anything, just judging by those lugs I showed earlier, then do let me know in the comments below, and let me know what you think of this fantastic old thing. If you want to see more vintage bicycle content intertwined with classic car content, then please do subscribe to the channel and check out the channel homepage. And yeah, I'm going to get back home a couple miles down the road before it starts to rain a little bit more. I don't want to get too wet on this thing, but it is going to be the user bicycle. I just wanted something old that looks nice but that I can use even when the weather might not be at its best, and I may even be able to commute on this. So I'm going to stop waffling now. Goodbye and thanks for watching.